In today's video, I'm going to be discussing a pathetic Social Security announcement showing just how much we got hosed. That's the focus of this video. Let's get into it and talk through all the details. Alright, a new report was just released focused on Social Security, and surprise, surprise, yet again, last year in 2023, we got absolutely stiffed by Social Security. Well, these are the numbers that I want to share with you here in this video, and again, you might as well sit down, relax, and enjoy the numbers here because this is going to be surprising, but at the same time, not all that shocking. No wonder why the finances of Social Security are going down the tubes, and we're looking at insolvency. The numbers simply don't make sense. I'm going to break down all the numbers for you here, and I can guarantee you this much. These are not typos. These are the real numbers, okay? All right, so here's what it comes down to. Right now, the Social Security Trust Fund has about $2.8 trillion, okay? Obviously, that is changing on a very regular basis, but that's a ton of money. $2.8 trillion is what they have in their trust fund. Now, here's the thing. Does that money just sit there? Well, kinda yes, but it is actually invested a little teeny tiny bit. There are rules on how this money can be invested. It cannot be invested in the stock market, but it can be invested in other safe asset classes. Well, as a result of that, last year in 2023, guess how much money as a percentage and in real dollars the $2.8 trillion returned to the Social Security Trust Fund because of their investments? I'll tell you, it's a whopping 2.4% is how much they made on $2.8 trillion. I'm going to tell you this much. That is absolutely pathetic. That is nothing, okay? 2.4% return on a $2.8 trillion trust fund is very bad. That's really, really bad, okay? Let me tell you some other numbers here, okay? This 2.4% return on the $2.8 trillion in the trust fund resulted in $67 billion in interest that was paid to Social Security. Now, you might be thinking, wow, $67 billion in interest, that's a ton, right? No. I mean, in real dollars, yes. $67 billion is a ton of money, right? That's also a very lot of money. But in comparison to the $2.8 trillion invested, no, that's a very, very, very small return, especially right now. Look at just simple savings accounts across the board. I just looked at my savings account. Now, here's the thing. My savings account has like $50 in it. But my point is, it has a 4.5% interest rate right now. 4.5% on a savings account that has like no money in it, okay? So my point is, you can have a much bigger return, over 2% more, just putting money into a simple savings account with just a basic bank, right? My point is, that's even a pretty nice interest rate right now on savings account. But get this, the Social Security Administration pays out about $100 billion a month right now to Social Security beneficiaries. Again, that's a ton of money, $100 billion going out the door every single month to beneficiaries. So the $67 billion that they got paid just in interest payments last year in 2023, because the $2.8 trillion in the trust fund, basically covers, I don't know, maybe like 2/3 of a month's worth of benefits going out. It does not even cover a full month's worth of benefits going out to beneficiaries. Do you see why the finances are so broken right now? However, get this. At the same time, last year, the S&P 500, okay? The S&P 500 last year, the broad stock market index with the 500 largest companies here in the United States returned 26% last year alone, okay? That is over 10 times more than what the Trust Fund for Social Security actually gained from their 2.4%, okay? Now get this, if they would have invested that, now obviously they legally cannot do this, the trust fund money cannot be invested in stocks. However, let's just say in theory it was actually invested in stocks. The $2.8 trillion was invested in the stock market and it returned back 26%. They would have accumulated about, again, give or take a little bit, about $700 billion in extra money returned from the stock market, okay? That would have been enough to pay for benefits for about 7 months last year to beneficiaries. Now that's money, okay? That is real money, and that is a real return. So basically what's going on here is even this 2.4% that it returned because of the investments they had on the 2.8 trillion, that did not even keep up with inflation. So yet again, the money in the trust fund for Social Security is falling behind, and it's depleting because of inflation. So even though, yes, they took in $67 billion in interest because of the investments of the money in the trust fund, they actually lost money. They lost a lot of money because of inflation, okay? So yes, maybe they got, say, $67 billion because of the interest, but they probably lost another $30, $40 billion, $50 billion on top of that because of inflation, okay? So inflation probably depleted the purchasing power of the money in the trust fund by probably, say, $100 to $110, $120 billion. But yet they got back $67 billion. You see what I'm saying here? So they lost money, even though it looks like, oh, wow, they made all this money because of the interest. Nope, they lost money because of inflation. You see what I'm saying here? What a messed up system, seriously. This is nuts. No wonder why. Again, I know I've said it a couple times, but no wonder why this program is so broken. Now, do I think the Social Security funds, as in the trust fund, should be invested in the stock market? Probably not, okay? Here's why. Now, don't get me wrong. I like the stock market. I think it's pretty cool. I really enjoy learning about the stock market and following it and stuff like that, right? But here's the thing. All it would take is one major crash in the stock market to basically wipe out the entire trust fund. And then the program would be gone, essentially, right? Now, obviously, the program wouldn't be ending. Benefits would still be paid out and things like that. But that's why they have these safeguards in the Social Security program, and all the laws wrap around it that were actually put into place way back in the 30s when this program was implemented about 90 years ago. Well, yeah, about 90 years ago. They put all this in place so that basically people couldn't do something bad, as in lawmakers, and say, hey, let's put all the money in the stock market, and then all of a sudden they lose it all, right? So again, all these safeguards were put in there to protect the money at the same time, but simply they've done nothing about it over the last, call it 90 years, and now it's actually having a disservice to the beneficiaries because now the trust fund continues to lose money. We keep plowing money into it through Social Security payroll taxes. At the end of the day, it just keeps siphoning money off of it. Like the program is losing money because of bad decisions of not investing this money properly. They could have easily invested this in bonds last year, and it could have returned about 5 to 5.5, maybe 6, even higher percentages than that. And bonds are generally very safe. So again, they could have doubled their return just by changing it into a different asset class, into bonds, and making it a much, a safe return, a safe investment. And then again, there you go. They could have doubled their return. So that $67 billion could have turned into about $135 billion. It would have been about 1 1/3 months of benefits to beneficiaries. You see my point here? Again, I want to bring this to your attention. You've got to know about this stuff. I know some of you here in the community might think, I don't care. I'll see the comments down below, I guarantee it, that say, I don't care. Don't talk about this stuff. Well, okay, fine. I won't talk about it then. If you don't want to know what's going on with the trust fund, then there you go, okay? We'll just sit back, relax, and cross our arms and watch this thing drive itself into a ditch, and then we'll all be begging for more money when they reduce our benefits by, say, 23 to 25% because they've done nothing about it. Again, it's very important. I think this stuff is incredibly important to watch this stuff because if we're not watching it, then guess what? They do nothing about it. So again, very important. Either way, subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends on social media. Totally free to do so. Otherwise, go back and check out any of the other thousands of videos here on the channel, including those down below in the description, which I've hand selected for you, or at the top of the comment section, some there as well, or the thousands in the video library. Until next time, enjoy your day, take care, and catch you again later.